Do not start a business.
By the end of this video, we're going to share with you 5 misconceptions that people have about starting businesses. My name is Darius.
And I'm Carmen. Now, before we jump into these points, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notifications bell so you're notified every time we post new videos. So before we, again, go into this point, I want to give you a little background information as far as why Darius and I are making this video today. So Darius and I both retired from corporate America. Darius was an engineer. I was a project manager, and we recognized that we wanted more for ourselves. We wanted more income. We wanted more control over our lives. And for us, we felt that the only way we could do that is to create a business. So we looked for years for opportunities and reasons and started 17 million businesses before we started Wealth Nation because we were just hungry for more. And we knew that there was an opportunity. We just had to find the right one. So with all of that being said, the 5 misconceptions that we're sharing with you are the things that we had
when starting our business.
We had
The reason why we started our business in the first place was
because of these
things.
Yeah. And then we get them, we're like, oh, that was different than how I pictured it going in my head. Yeah. Okay, so you want to go the first point?
So the first thing is you can set your own hours. When you're first starting a business, you cannot set your own hours. When Carmen and I started our business, we worked night and day, sun up to sundown on our business, and our business basically owned us, owned our time.
Yep. And I think that the misconception is when you leave corporate America, or at least for me, I'll speak from my personal perspective. When I left corporate America, I was like, I'll be able to work whatever hours I want to work. And we still can work any hours that we want. But especially when you're in the grind phase, when you're just starting, you may not have that flexibility that you think. And again, we're talking to people aspiring to be business owners right now so that you have a different perspective and maybe you aren't such in shock as we were when we started Wealth Nation, for example.
Right. But I think what happens over time is you get used to that ability because with having your own business comes a responsibility because you have so much control. And with control, again, you have to think like you have this control for a reason because you're the one making all of the decisions.
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
So because you're making all decisions, you feel good about working in the wee hours of the morning or late at night or watching your daughter on the baby monitor while she sleeps so that you can get some work done.
We're doing that now. So that's a novice idea, Darius. So I think the other thing that I'm glad that you brought that up because if you are working like 24 hours a day nonstop and you hate what you're doing, that may be showing you that you're not in alignment with where your heart is telling you need to be. Because I know every time that we were building Wealth Nation, like we never questioned, what are we doing? What are we doing? We were just like, how can we do this better? How can it be more? How do we help more people? And so that's what we want to make sure that you understand, that if you are starting a business and it is torture for you, then this isn't the right business for you to start.
Yeah, because I know us when we first started, it's like, when's the last time we ate? You remember the last time we ate? You don't remember because the only thing you've been doing
is for somebody who gets hangry.
Yes.
I'm a heavyweight, so I have my sugar levels get a little low, and I get a little attitude. I'm like the Snickers commercial.
Yeah, exactly, all day long. So thinking about setting your hours, be open to that, especially moving forward, especially when you're starting, and know that you will be able to dial that in over time. But in the beginning, when you're starting your business, you'll probably be working 12, 14 hours a day just to keep all of the lids on of all of the tops that will be boiling over.
Right. The second misconception is that you can ditch your boss. Well, you can ditch your corporate America boss, but you do gain thousands of other bosses when it comes to your clients, because that's who runs your business, your clients. When you work in a 9-to-5, it's your boss that you think is running your day, but your clients actually run your day. So you have to be okay with not necessarily ditching your boss, but changing who dictates your your time.
Yeah. And also not only your clients, but also your team, right? Because you as a business owner, you have responsibility to your team, to your clients. And we're not saying this in a bad way whatsoever, but it's just a shift in perspective. Like if, this person needs this from me, I have to make it happen. If my client needs this from me, I have to make it happen. And they are depending on you to follow through. So thinking about you being your own boss, yeah, you kind of are, but you actually aren't, because you have to serve so many hundreds of people, or however large your team is. Those are your bosses, because those are the individuals that are going to allow you to create the lifestyle that you desire. Those are the individuals that are going to represent you out in these streets. And you want to make sure that you do your due diligence in hiring the right people and hiring the right clients, right? Because that's a big deal. And making sure that you're always working with people who make you happy and who you know that you're in alignment with.
Right. Another nice thing about having a business is you can choose the people that you do serve.
Yes. Yes, you have to say that again.
Yeah, you can choose the people that you can serve. Yes, in some instances, you should be choosing your boss and choosing a job based on the people that you'll have around you. But when you have your own business, it's your responsibility to set that culture up. And that starts with the people that you hire and the clients that you have to help set up that culture for your business.
Absolutely. Now, the third point is you can take a vacation whenever and wherever you want. That was a misconception for us, because in the beginning, we didn't have no money to take vacations like we wanted to. We love to travel. And so when we realized that we couldn't vacation like we wanted to, there was another throttle that we had to figure out of getting more income into our business so that we could travel the world and do the things that we love to do. And then once we got to the point where we could vacation and travel the world, we recognized that we didn't want to bring our business with us on the road. There is nothing fun about working on the beach with sand in your laptop.
Yeah, the laptop lifestyle sounds great, and it different strokes for different folks. But I know for Carmen and I, we kind of want to unplug and spend time together, especially now that we have our daughter. We kind of actually have to unplug, and we couldn't continue to live the laptop lifestyle where we're sitting at the pool on our laptops answering emails and Slack messages.
Yeah, we can't be present.
Yeah,
and that was the other thing too with before we even became parents of our two girls. What we recognized was when we were on vacation, we weren't present with each other as a couple, and then we weren't separating the personal Darius and Carmen life between the business Darius and Carmen.
No matter how hard we tried, we would be at dinner, we say, okay, we're not going to talk about business during this dinner, but because it's so wrapped up in what we do, we found it difficult to not talk about business. But I tell you, when you have kids, it helps
very much so. and our family very much made us realize, like, man, y'all haven't been present in a long time, because all you're doing is tinkering, thinking. And that's when just family time became so much more precious and so much more needed for us to be able to show up better in our business, is to be able to have those times away. So going back to point number 3 of taking vacations whenever you want, it may take time for you to get to that point, but don't give up. You will get there.
Right. And one thing we want you to understand is we call these misconceptions because people think that you get this automatically right out of the gate, but it takes time to get there. So just like our next point, misconception number 4 is you'll make more money. You'll make more money eventually. You'll make more money eventually. And the reason why I say that is our income, we're salary because we're employees of our business, and we make less money now than we did when we were an engineer and a project manager. We were W-2s. But what comes with that isn't the more money that we were thinking. The tax breaks makes a bigger difference for us. Being able to do things through our business rather than us personally means we don't need to have as much income as we did back then, so that we can help mitigate some of our taxes
expenses.
Tax expenses.
Yeah, and that's the biggest misconception is all you do is you see people making it rain, but what you don't see is people having like responsible conversations of talking about money on a circle. We need to start doing those commercials. When's the last time you talked to your business partner about your expenses? Let's have those conversations as opposed to like trying to make things rain, because if you aren't good with your finances personally, it will come to haunt you and bite you in the butt with your business.
Yeah, and I don't think making it rain is a tax write-off. Buying a car is a tax write-off. Maybe taking a client out to dinner is a tax write-off. Shirts
Equipment
is a write-off.
Oh,
Equipment is a write-off. But I don't think making it rain is a write-off.
That's a good point.
Buying a suit is a write-off.
Yeah, absolutely. So these are different things to think about. but perspective, right? So let's put that into perspective since we're talking about this, things not being write-offs. The most recent write-offs that we've had within our business that may have been a personal expense to us before. We have a business trip coming up next week. Our business is paying for that. So the business is paying for the travel, the business is paying for, meals, the business is paying for, all the transportation, lodging, all of that. Whereas before that would need to be a personal expense. There are opportunities where we might have to be dressed up. Our business has to pay for that uniform. Our business pays for, a lot of the expenses that in our office that you may have had to incur personally. So it's just, you can see the difference on how the business starts to take over a lot of the expenses as opposed to Darius and Carmen personally. And that's where the shift in your income changes.
Yeah, business takes care of the Wi-Fi, takes care of our
cell phones.
mobile, our cell phones. Business takes care of a portion of our mortgage because of how our office is set up.
So these are just things to consider.
Are you looking for a life insurance policy specifically designed to help you accomplish your financial goals?
And if you have a policy or if you're looking for more education, would you like to be a part of a community with like-minded individuals who are all using life insurance to accomplish their financial goals? If so, click on the link below. We would love for you to join the Wealth Nation Money School. So we'll leave you with the last point, and that's number 5 about you have less stress. And I don't think that was not the case for me. Again, this is my story. In the beginning, I was very stressed, but not in a bad way. That the stress was just like, how can I hit the ground harder kind of thing? It was just more for me because I just wanted to grow our business and to scale as fast as we possibly could. So I would say it's good stress in a way, but your body recognizes stress the same way. So making sure that you have coaches in your back pocket, making sure that you have therapists in your back pocket is so important because your mental health is crucial. Because if you are not okay up here, you need to talk to somebody about it. And knowing that it's okay to not be okay was a huge weight off my shoulders, and recognizing that, this is a process. This is something for me personally that I have to go through, that I have to work through, but I don't have to put so much pressure on myself day in and day out to make things happen.
Right. And that pressure comes from, you have bills that you have to pay. You have your income that you need to pay to maintain your lifestyle. And there's going to be times where that doesn't happen in your business. Your business ebbs and flows. It has seasons that you go through with your business. Now, the thing is, with these seasons going up and down, you still have expenses. You still have employees that you have to pay. That doesn't change. So there's a level of stress that could come with that, but also a level of stress comes when you aren't prepared for it. So once you become more prepared and more aware, that stress starts to go away and gives you the ability to focus more on what you need to focus on rather than the things that are outside of your control.
Very good point. And that goes back to our previous point about money. Is sound money management is going to very much alleviate any stress that you have in your business.
Right. A lot of the money organization things that we talk about are things that we learn through our business and through having a responsibility of paying other people.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the other thing to note, folks, is that if you desire more income, you want to change the trajectory of your financial freedom, you don't have to own a business. You can just become an investor and start using money creatively to make more money so that you can eventually leave your job or your current situation. So it doesn't always have to be, I have to start a business, I got to file this LLC, now I got to hire all these people or get a business loan. It doesn't have to be that. Just knowing how to make more money is going to be the key to this game. So if you want to learn how to create some passive income, you can click on our next video.
Remember to own your own lifestyle,
or someone else will.